Hey, I'm Kerry from DegrassiBlog.com, and today we're going to be talking about some new alternate episode descriptions for Degrassi Next Class Season 3. Now, when the first episode descriptions were released, I said that we can't just assume that we know everything or that we have everything figured out about Season 3, because episode descriptions in general, they're meant to be very generic and they leave a lot of stuff out. And we see that in these new episode descriptions that were released by TV Passport. As a matter of fact, they actually fill in the gaps in some of the episode descriptions that we received from Zap to It a few weeks ago. I will leave a link in the description below to Degrassi Source's website because they posted and found the episode descriptions from TV Passport, and they dropped those things on us on Christmas night, working hard on Christmas. Thank you so much, Santa Claus. So not all of the episode descriptions have changed. About half of them stayed the same. However, the other half have new information. So we're just going to go over the ones that have new information. So with that in mind, let's get on to the episode descriptions.
Okay, taking a look at the new episode description for episode 301, Break the Internet. Now, in the original Zap to It description, there was no mention of the bus crash whatsoever. However, in this new episode description from TV Passport, they say, after the bus accident, many students are injured and one is critical. Now, this is huge because there has been a lot of speculation and questions and concerns about who may or may not die in the bus crash, and it's been that way for several months now. And during the past several weeks, there's been a lot of information to basically confirm what has actually happened. However, this episode description right here, 1,000,000% confirms that no one actually dies in the bus crash. There is no death. There's one character in critical condition, and we know from all the information that we received, especially from the original episode descriptions that we received, that Tristan is the character who will be in critical condition throughout a lot of Season 3. So remember, not every episode description has new information, so I'm just going to skip forward to the next one that does have new info, which would be episode 304, hashtag Pics or It Didn't Happen. Now, the only difference in this one is that they mention that new character, Rasha, actually auditions for the play. The next episode, episode 305, hashtag Huge If True. We know in that episode that Shay, Lola, and Frankie, they're going to be having a sleepover. However, we get some new information. We learn that the boys compete to reveal the bigger man. From the sound of this episode, it's shaping up a lot like an episode from Degrassi High that aired, I think it was like 1989 or 1990. It was called The All-Nighters. Basically, the A-plot of that episode involved a group of girls at a sleepover, and then the B-plot followed a group of guys basically having a guys' night. So I'm even more interested to see what is going down in Huge If True, most definitely. And as a matter of fact, I'll leave a link in the description below to where you can actually watch the Degrassi High episode, The All-Nighter. The next episode that we need to look at is episode 307, hashtag Unsubscribe. And the new information that we have, Grace is faced with a life and death decision and needs a friend. Luckily, Jonah's there, so we get just a little bit more clarity of what's going on with Grace. We can kind of get an idea that Grace and Jonah may or may not be leaning on each other throughout this season, because we know Jonah, he's acting kind of weird throughout this season as well. And the final episode description that we're going to look at is episode 309, hashtag Woke. In this episode description from TV Passport, they mention that Frankie and Jonah are trying to figure things out and are still on a break, which means they, throughout this season, basically, Frankie and Jonah, there's some weirdness going on. It's freaking Frankie out, and Jonah's being kind of weird. So apparently now we know that these two actually break up and are broken up throughout most of the season for whatever the reason may be. It might be connected to something involving, Jonah and Grace, but we definitely know now that there is definitely some relationship tension for sure. Maybe not completely broken up, but they're definitely taking a break from each other. And at the end of that, they say Maya just can't deal with her depression diagnosis. Now, in the original description, they just say Maya can't deal with her depression. But the TV Passport description says that she can't deal with her depression diagnosis. So it is official. She has been diagnosed by a professional that she does indeed have depression. And I think watching Maya deal with depression is going to be a very sad and gut-wrenching thing to watch in season 3.
And that's going to do it for this episode of Degrassi Corner. We're just under 2 weeks. We have a little over a week and a half until Degrassi Next Class Season 3 is released on Netflix worldwide, as well as the Family Channel app. And then, of course, Family Channel, they're going to be releasing a new episode every weekday starting on Monday, January 9th. For more information, make sure you subscribe to this channel in case we get some more news, like a hint trailer that might be coming in the next couple of days. And also, you can check out more information at degrassiblog.com.